A drop in the ratings brings out Vince's wild side. Inspired by the women, Daniel Bryan starts a tag team evolution. And have you figured out Wyatt's mystery secret message? I'm Iain Chambers, and this is your Wrestlezone Round Up. Now, whenever we see Raw ratings take a bit of a dip, we tend to see Vince McMahon try and generate a bit of interest, get a bit of a buzz, by featuring the man you could argue he believes to be his brand's biggest star, himself. Vince kicked off this week's episode and was clearly on a mission to cause a stir. It's only been a couple of weeks since this year's Superstar shakeup, but things are still well and truly trembling. Mr. McMahon announced a new Wildcard Rule, which means a limited number of wrestlers can jump between Raw and SmackDown for one-night-only appearances. The number of crossovers was originally capped at 3, with WWE champ Kofi Kingston, Daniel Bryan, and Roman Reigns all showing up on Raw, but it later became 4 after Lars Sullivan got in Vince's grill. Why is this happening? I think it's pretty obvious. It's to give both shows more star power and boost interest. It's all a little bit weird if you ask me, but I like to focus on the positives. Here are some potentially great matches we could see because of the weird wildcard rule. Sasha Banks versus Kairi Sane could be pretty special. Now, we don't know if Sasha is coming or going at the minute. We haven't seen much of her since she and Bayley dropped the tag team titles to the Iconics at Wrestlemania. But all the signs are pointing to her making a return pretty soon. She said in the past she'd fancy a match with Kairi Sane, and there's no doubt it would be awesome. Sasha's underrated in the ring. Kairi's accomplishments speak for themselves. These two would tear it up. Rey Mysterio versus Finn Balor is a match I've wanted to see for ages. Balor is a ring veteran at the age of 37, and Mysterio has, of course, done it all at 44 years old. Finn's in his prime, and Rey is somehow, somewhere, still working like it's 2002. In the shake-up, we saw them both switch brands, with Rey to Raw and Finn to SmackDown, but the wildcard rule gives us a glimmer of hope to see this dream match come true in the near future. Now, we've seen Seth Rollins versus Daniel Bryan before, but not for a good few years. Both of them have changed a lot since 2015. One of them is burning everything down, and the other is recycling everything in sight. The new Daniel Bryan versus the Universal Champion in 2019 could be amazing, but it needs to be made out to be a big deal if it happens. And speaking of Daniel Bryan, the man has set himself a new mission. Not only does he want to clean up the planet, he wants to clean up the condition of WWE's tag team division. It's no secret that it isn't in the best of shape right now. The Usos are coming across badly at the minute, being booked to embarrass the Revival every week. After the back shaving last week, many of us sat and cringed at our TVs to the sweat-activated Usi hot business. Scott Dawson tweeted, "You'll regret all this embarrassment, by the way. All this stuff could spell out the letters AEW." The Raw Tag Champs Ryder and Hawkins got squashed by the Viking Raiders this week, and the Hardy Boys had to give up the SmackDown titles, leaving only a handful of decent contenders left on the blue brand. But then, out of nowhere, we saw the legitimate team of Bryan and Rowan snatch the straps. After he was rumoured to have picked up an injury at Wrestlemania, sharing the load with Rowan as one half of the tag champs makes complete sense. And he said after SmackDown, you know, they always talk about the women's evolution, about women main event in WrestleMania. You know who's never talked about main event in WrestleMania? The tag team division. Do you think he can do it? Can Rowan and Bryan headline WrestleMania 36? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Watching Bray Wyatt on TV right now is pretty fun, but he's also very entertaining on Twitter. Bray put out a big tease this week that he inserted hidden messages in promos years ago. Soon, the secret words from Wyatt's 2015 promos will all be revealed. Loads of fans have been chiming in on Twitter trying to decipher the code, but no luck so far. He's told us it begins with a question that's answered vaguely several lines later, and it's more like a poem than a statement. This is the closest someone has come to solving it. What makes you smile? I know you're listening. Let me in. Limbo is no place for a soul like yours. Want to hear a secret? The answer is the creature that lives behind your eyes. The angel with burnt wings is waving you home. Can you figure it out before the leader of the Firefly Funhouse reveals the answer to the game on Monday? If you do, tweet me at Iain Chambers or comment below. And that is it for today's episode of your Wrestlezone Roundup. See you next time.